Welcome to Sex Positive Gaming. I'm Annie, and today we're going to look at Tales from the Unending Void. This sci-fi harem visual novel is available for PC, Mac, and Android on their Patreon and itch.io. All of those links can be found for free on my Patreon because YouTube doesn't allow me to link to these types of games in the descriptions. This is a campy, sexy space adventure very similar to the Farscape series, just with fewer Muppets. This is the second game by developer Pervertier, with the first being the completed title Sisterly Lust. The same game that was recently used by Apple to sex shame Epic Games in their lawsuit that is primarily about who gets more money for exploiting children with Fortnite. Apple, a company built on actual slave labor being able to pretend moral superiority on anything, should be laughable. But somehow this company worth over $2 trillion can get away with this crap. But I'm not allowed to cover Sisterly Lust because YouTube has a consanguinity policy that prohibits talking about it. Technically, that policy would also ban most of the world's religions and about a quarter of the current marriages on the planet. But it's not like Google and its antitrust dodge parent company Alphabet are consistent about enforcement. After all, they are a slaver company as well. But this is Sex Positive Gaming, not Annie talks about how evil and hypocritical corporate executives are. So what does this have to do about Tales from the Unending Void? Science fiction has always been a device used to talk about how the world is and how the world should be. Tales from the Unending Void presents us with a universe that is remarkably similar to our own. Corporations rule the universe, the government is inefficient and uncaring, and slavery is normal. The main character's father is a corporate criminal who would fit perfectly on the board of Activision Blizzard. Heck, our spoiled rich main character takes the law into their own hands after a crime happens to their family. Spoilers. Who do they think they are, Space Batman? This is a game that is first and foremost about exploring strange new worlds, seeking out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no human has gone before, and to see if you can impregnate them. Like seriously, expect the plot to be sidetracked at any moment by the MC's overpowering lizard brain need to procreate. This visual novel gives us a standard binary mechanic of being nice or being rude. These choices impact your relationships but don't currently impact the progression of the main story. I am hopeful that choices will eventually have some bearing on the ending beyond some type of Mass Effect 3 style conclusion. The models and backgrounds in this game are decent. The lighting is tricky in some areas with some overexposure. There are a limited number of animated sexual interactions, but all of them are silent. The soundtrack is nice and futuristic, but I would have liked to have heard ambient sounds and interactions. There are quite a number of current and planned flavors in this mainly male heterosexual harem experience. This includes monster girls, fuda, trans, corruption, BDSM, power exchange, lesbian, and group interactions. The cool thing is that all of these flavors are completely optional, so that you can really tailor the game to your personal preferences. I like the story so far, though it does feel like many of the sexual interactions can get in the way of the plot instead of helping to develop it. I really like that the main character has curly hair. We don't see that often, so it's a nice change of pace. I would have liked to have seen more choices in the story. I kind of feel like I'm stuck in a harem anime where the main character is surrounded by all these beautiful women, but doesn't really have agency. I mean, there are worse places to be stuck, like in a dryer, but at least in this game you have your family to help you out. I've had a lot of fun exploring Tales from the Unending Void so far. There are some flaws, but if you enjoy science fiction, harems, and visual novels, I think you'll have a great time playing as well. What do you think of the game? Are you bothered that I don't generally talk about certain flavors, like, cohabitation? And seriously, how does real-life slavery get a pass, but fictional sexual interactions get all of this shame and attention? This is why I have to keep reminding people, no shaming, just gaming. Thanks to all this month's supporters on Patreon. I wouldn't have been able to do this without you.